How we all getting along today? Well, the next evolution in an old farm truck here, making her a little more useful, was onboard air compressor. I've been dragging around a small electric compressor and a generator forever, and just ain't always the handiest thing, and you never have it with you when you need it. So I thought it'd be a good idea to put on some onboard air. I'd thought about doing the old refrigeration compressor, and since this thing had done been stripped down, no brackets on it, probably the easiest thing to do is just go electric. So I did a little research, come up with this Viair 444C dual kit, about 330 bucks. Comes with everything you need, come with a couple 40 amp relays, all the wiring, pressure switch. It comes on at 150 PSI, kicks out at 175 PSI. Between the two pumps, they put out about 3.5 CFM, so that's enough to, pretty much do what I need to do. I was looking for a place to mount them. Came up with the fender well here, which fender well kind of had that curve to it. But I was able to make me a plate, and it's kind of a giggle there, that made the plate out of the top of an old washing machine. I cut that up, folded her over, beat it down real nice, and it leveled it off pretty good. Looks not too bad. Built me a little distribution manifold out of some black iron pipe fittings I'd picked up at a sale. I picked up a 5-gallon bucket full of rusty fittings for, I don't know, maybe $5-10 at the best. Took them home, put them in my rock polisher with some dry sand, and polished them suckers up just as good as new. Hell, they're probably better pipe fittings than you can buy today, and hell, probably any two of those fittings in there would have cost enough to, cover for the whole price. Got her all wired up, cleaned up. Oh, she takes about 4 minutes to pump up from zero. Recovery time when you're using it's relatively quick. Another good find I found was these little battery terminals. They're kind of neat. They're actually probably for car stereos. I think that's where I found them at. It was in the car stereo section. But that gave me a good spot and good way to cleanly land all my cables for my welder, my winch, and everything, and these air compressors and everything else. This old truck's had a tube bumper on it for years. It was never welded up to be airtight. So cleaned her up, the end caps there, and welded that up with that Premier Power welder that I'd installed. And that thing's just handy as heck. Didn't have to pull it into the shop or nothing, just did her out here in the driveway and welded her right up. So I'm totally happy with it. Got her plumbed into the bumper here. Just used some semi brake lines, 3/8 plastic brake lines to move the air out here. But it works pretty good. I don't expect to ever be running any power tool or air tools off of it, but if I wanted to, I did tap it out and put me a plug in the bottom as a drain plug. I may do something different later, but for right now, that'll at least let me drain any moisture out that builds up. Holds air. The compressors do have built-in check valves there in the hose, so you don't have to worry about your air bleeding off back through your compressors, and that way they can start up without being under a load. I've got no complaints, and I'm sure I'll keep trying them out, but I think they'll be darn good little compressors. Got any questions or comments, be sure and leave them. Be sure and like and subscribe. Yeah, I'd said in the previous video, I never dreamed of having over 100 subscribers. Hell, I don't know 100 people. But I'm glad you all take time in your day to listen to me ramble on, and if you come up with anything, give me a holler. Have a good one.